The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos with another big weekend of stakes trials racing action. The best fillies in the nation will race in the trials to the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Oaks on Saturday night. Kindergarten winner, Double Down 1, 2, 3 stakes winner Asher and graded stakes finalists Check-In Cartel and Southern Divine will be in action. On Sunday night, top sophomores will be in the trials to the Grade 2 El Primero del Año Derby. Trial hopefuls include Grade 1 Edbert Million winner Political Rivalry and Wild West winner 5 Bar Supreme. The horses with the 10 fastest times for each race will advance to the finals on March 24th and 25th. And as always, Los Alamitos will feature night racing's best bets, like our early and late pick fours, and the $10,000 pick six promo on Sundays if there's not a carryover. Enjoy the best of daytime simulcast racing at Los Alamitos. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681. The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Saturday. It's a big Saturday, at least 3 Kentucky Derby Future Book points getting races up for grabs today, 1 tomorrow as well. So we'll be looking ahead to the Kentucky Derby on the first Saturday in May. But it's a Saturday with a great racing card at Gulfstream Park. And no racing card at Santa Anita. As you know, Santa Anita canceled today because they're expecting a lot of rain there in Southern California today. And they're also getting a lot of rain in New York, and where the Gotham Stakes will be held today. We'll give you the latest on the weather in just a moment. I want to welcome everybody to this Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, right here at the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex here in Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard to be exact. So we welcome you to the show. If you don't know how to get it and you're listening to it on other platforms, it's real easy. Just go to YouTube hit South Point Studios, and you'll get to see and hear us on the South Point Studios network site at YouTube. And I can tell you, I tried it out on my phone yesterday, on my cell phone, my Android, and it was great. You just go to YouTube and you do the same thing on your phone as you would on your computer, etc., your iPads or whatever, and you get to see us right here at the South Point Studio. So we welcome you to the show here, coming to you live and direct from this gaming capital. And of course, all the other platforms, our anchor radio station here in Las Vegas, KSHP Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. All of our websites that include racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global. We got the streaming there. And of course, we have podcasting wherever you get your podcasting. And as I say, you can listen to our shows and you can see them on your devices, your iPhones, Androids with YouTube. You can also listen to them through the KSHP app that you can get at your app store. So however, wherever, whenever you get us, just welcome to the Saturday Race Day Las Vegas radio program. Now, the weather is the big thing across the country as far as racing is concerned. As you know, they already canceled Southern California. No racing today. Now, if we look at the weather map here lately, the latest weather map, we can see that the rain is moving in Southern California right now. In the higher elevations, northern Nevada and northern California, they're getting slammed in the Sierras with multitudes of feet of snow there. So much so that some of the ski resorts have actually had to close because there was too much snow there. That's in the northern part of Nevada and California, but that front is going to make its way through along the California coast. So we'll wait and see how that works out. We'll get the latest from John Lindo on the weather there. On the East Coast, there's a ton of rain and all sorts of weather going on the East Coast, from the mid-Atlantic right up through past the eastern part of the Great Lakes area. That includes New York. So here's what they're doing in New York because, as you know, the Gotham Stakes is carded as the last race on the Aqueduct card today, and that is, of course, a Kentucky Derby Future Book point getter. So here's the deal. Because of the rain, and they already have some rain starting in New York already. The rain is there. But they're going to shorten up the post times. The third race post time is moved up 3 minutes. Fourth race is moved up 3 minutes. And throughout the day, they're going to cut between 3 to 4 to 5 minutes on the published post times to get these races in before the hard rain comes. Now, the post time for the 10th race at the track at Aqueduct. Now, remember, that's the Gotham. That 10th race was supposed to go at 2:36 p.m. Pacific time. It's now going to go at 2:21 Pacific time. So you can see that they're cutting in, trying to get that race in there. That's at Aqueduct. Now, we have several scratches at Gulfstream Park. You got to listen up now because they got 14 race card at Gulfstream Park today, 9 stakes races. I'm going to give you the scratches in the stakes races. Pay attention now, especially to the Fountain of Youth. There's major scratches going on in the Fountain of Youth, and the weather is beautiful at Gulfstream Park. Track fast, turf firm, etc. But here's the deal. Now, you go to the first stakes race of the day, the Colonel Leon. That'll be the third race on the card. No scratches there. The fourth race, the San Cristobal overnight stakes races. No scratches there. And now we get to the seventh race, the McNarvana on the turf. No scratches there. Then we get to the Here Comes the Bride Stakes. That's the 8th race on the card. You have 3 scratches in that one. Scratch the 4 Dancing Dixie, the 8 Irish Maxima, and the 10 Agra. So numbers 4, 8, and 10 are scratched in the Here Comes the Bride. In the Devon of Dale, this is the race for 3-year-old fillies that has 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard. We went over that yesterday with Jonathan Ardoon. In this race, now scratch number 1, Miss Saley. Number 1, Miss Saley is scratched, long shot at 20-1 in the Devon of Dale. No scratches in the Very One Stakes. That'll be the 10th on the turf. Then we get to the 11th race, the Gulfstream Park Mile. Scratch the 1 Castle Chaos. That horse is going to go in the, I believe, the Tom Fool at Aqueduct today. So number 1 Castle Chaos has been scratched there. Also scratched the 7 Tickling. The 7 is also out. 1 and 7 out of the 11th. The 12th race, the Canadian Turf Stakes. Scratch number 9, Giant Game, another big long shot there, 20-1. The 9 Giant Game is out of the Canadian turf. The Honey Fox, the 13th race on the card, is clear. But then we get to the 14th and final race at Gulfstream Park today. That is the Fountain of Youth. This, of course, has 50 Kentucky Derby leaderboard points up for grabs. It came earlier today that number 3, Victory Avenue, 4-1 on the morning line, has been scratched. Scratch the 3, Victory Avenue. Also in this race, scratch number 6, Merit. Number 6, Merit is out. And more importantly, this big scratch in the Fountain of Youth today, scratch number 8, Locked. Number 8, Locked, has been scratched. That horse is out. So you have scratches of Victory Avenue, Merit, and Locked, numbers 3, 6, and 8, respectively, in the 14th race, the Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream Park today. So the weather is playing. The weather is playing some factors in both Southern California, obviously, with the closing of no racing there today. They're going to have that card tomorrow. And, of course, in New York, where they're going to shorten up post times to get the Gotham in, and hopefully some kind of better weather than they would have if they waited a little bit longer. So the rain is coming in on the East Coast, snow in the northern Sierras, and rain in Southern California. Here in Las Vegas right now, it is beautiful out. Sun is shining, 54 degrees. We're going to get up to 62 today. And as you know, it's always fast, firm, and perfect in our race books here in Las Vegas. So we got a lot to cover. Jonathan Ardoon is standing by. He's going to give us his thoughts on the Derby prep races today. Gave us his thoughts about the other stakes races he likes yesterday. Rich Engel will be along with his selection. John Lindo is going to give us an update in Southern California. He has a Lindo report for Gulfstream Park today. And, of course, Jerry J will be along with Aqueduct. So we got a busy Saturday show here on the Race Day Las Vegas Network here at South Point Studios. So we're going to take our first break and get started with this show right after this. Don't go away. We will be right back.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yes. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Oreo.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go, ah! Ah! Oh!
Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. We got to get going because we got to get these guys to give us some thoughts about the big racing card at Gulfstream Park. So without any further ado, we'll get right to the racing menu for today. Remember, the first post times rebroadcast on this menu each and every racing day reflect the start times, the first post times in the Pacific time zone. So if you're listening here in Las Vegas, you're going to come out to the book or whatever. These will be the first post times that roll out in our books today. If you're listening on the multitude of different platforms that we always welcome at the top of the show and you're in another time zone, you know what to do too. Adjust to the Pacific time zone so you don't miss anything like I Miss Mom and Dad. And of course, we repeat this every day because we got new listeners coming on every day and we want to make sure they understand first post times are Pacific no matter where you're at. Adjust if you're not in the Pacific time zone. We start out with Gulfstream Park. Now, as I say, the weather is beautiful at Gulfstream. Track is fast, turf is firm, temperature 76 degrees, the wind south-southeast at 9 miles per hour, and the humidity is 76%. But they have quite a few scratches today at Gulfstream in their 14-race card. Here's how it's going to shake out. First race post time is 8:15. You have pick 5 starting in the first race. You have a pick 4 that starts in the second race. The third race is the Colonel Liam Stakes at a mile on the turf for 3-year-olds. In this race, the morning line favorite is Cagino at 5-2 on the morning line. No scratches, late scratches yet in the Colonel Liam. The $100,000 San Cristobal Overnight Stakes is the 4th race on the card. 10 there without any late scratches so far. And in that race, the favorite at 7-2 is Exact Estimate. That'll start another pick 4. 5th race will start another pick 5 today at Gulfstream. Then we move to the 7th race where they will start another pick 4 in the 7th race, and that is the McDermott Stakes at a mile and 3/8 on the turf for 4-year-olds and up, a field of 10. This is a good wide open event as well. The morning line favorite there is 4-1, and that is Dynadrive with Luis Saez. The 8th race is the Here Comes the Bride Stakes at a mile on the turf for 3-year-old fillies, scratch numbers 4, 8, and 10. And in this race, the 2-1 favorite there is Ozara with Tyler Gaffleone. Go to the 9th race. This starts the pick 6 today with a carryover at Gulfstream Park. The jackpot stands at $668,449. That's the cash in there. But remember, this pot's going to go over $1 million today. They don't hit it today, mandatory payoff tomorrow. We continue, though. The Devonna Dale, the 9th race, scratch the 1, Miss Say Lee. That'll leave 7 left to go. The 7-5 favorite is Just FYI. Of course, that is the Breeders' Cup juvenile winner. She makes her 3-year-old debut today in the Devonna Dale. And Leslie's Rose is the close second choice at 8-5 in that one. The 10th race is the Very One Stakes at a mile and 3/8 on the turf. It'll start another pick 5. It'll also start the turf pick 3 there, the all-turf pick 3. 10 go to the post in that one. And the favorite at 5-2 is Sister Luann with Jose Ortiz. 11th race, we'll start another pick 4. The Gulfstream Park Mile at a mile, obviously. Scratch number 1, Castle Chaos, and the 7 Tickling. That'll leave a field of 6 going in this race. The 8-5 favorite is Tumbarumba with Luis Saez. 12th race. That's the Canadian turf on the turf at a mile and 16th. Scratch the 9 Giant Game. And in this race, the morning line favorite is Emmanuel at 2-1 with Ired Ortiz Jr. Then you get the 13th race, the Honey Fox at a mile on the turf for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up, a field of 11. In that race, the 9-5 favorite is Chili Flag. And then, of course, the 14th and final race there is the Fountain of Youth, Grade 2, mile and 16 for 3-year-olds. Big important scratches. Scratch the 3 Victory Avenue, the 6 Merit, and the 8 Locked. The favorite in that race now at 2-1 is Dornock with Luis Saez. That's how it'll shake out today at Gulfstream. That race goes at 3:10 p.m. Pacific time with 50 Kentucky Derby points up for grabs. First post time at Gulfstream, 8:15. All right, we'll rip through the rest of the card real quick. Laurel Park is next. Laurel Park has 10 races. Their first post time is at 9:25. Tampa Bay Downs has 9 races. Their first post time is at 9:30 at Tampa Bay, and they have a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $22,798 at Tampa Bay. Following that comes Aqueduct, the Big A in New York. You already got the conditions at Aqueduct, and there's 10 races there, 4 stakes races. The Busher with 50 Kentucky Oaks points up for grabs will be the 7th race. No scratches yet. Jody's Pride is the prohibitive 4-5 favorite there with Jose Liscano. The Stymie Stakes will be the 8th race on the card, where the favorite there 2-1 is Castle Chaos. That goes there in the Stymie. Castle Chaos and the Stymie. I said the Tom Fool earlier, but it's in the Stymie. Castle Chaos there today. Got scratched at Gulfstream. 2-1 favorite there. Tom Fool is the 9th race, and the favorite there in that race, 9-5, is Rockney. And then the Gotham Stakes, which will go now approximately at 2:21 p.m. Pacific time with 50 Kentucky Derby points up for grabs. The Gotham at a mile for 3-year-olds, scratch the 12 Slider. And in this race, you have 12 left to go. It's a wide open affair. Lost just a touch is the 5-2 favorite there. Aqueduct's first post time is at 9:50, but they're shortening up post times thereafter. All right, and it has, by the way, Aqueduct has a pick 6 carryover. They didn't hit it yesterday. Pick 6 carryover, $19,661.82, $19,661.82. update on the scratches in the Gotham. Not only is number 12 Slider scratched, we now have the one horse, Canati. Number 1 Canati is also scratched now in the Gotham Stakes. You got 2 scratches there. We continue with the menu. Oaklawn Park has 10 races. The No Double Breeders is the 7th. The Down the Dusty Road Breeders is the 9th. First post time at Oaklawn for their 10 race course is at 10:30. Fairgrounds has 10 races, 3 stakes races at $100,000. The Red Camila is the 5th. The Edward Johnson Memorial is the 7th. The Black Gold is the 9th. 10 races at the Fairgrounds. First post time 10:45 at the Fairgrounds. And then we go to Sunland Park, 9 quarter horse races, including the Derby at $157,164 at 400 yards. That'll be the 8th race on the card. Sunland, first post time is 11:25. Golden Gate has 8 races. Their first post time is 1:35. 1:35 at Golden Gate. They have a super high 5 carryover there today of $4,377 at Golden Gate today. Okay, and their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $1,042. First post time, 1:35. Turfway Park has 9 races. Their feature race, the John Battaglia, 20 Kentucky Derby points there. It's the 6th race on the card. 14 go to the post in that one. It's a wide open affair. Morning line favorite at 5-2 is Epic Ride with Mr. Basija aboard. That's the 6th race of 9 at Turfway. First post time is 2:55. They've got a super high 5 carryover there, 15,662 at Turfway Park today. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, 50,727. First post time Turfway, 2:55. And then we wrap it up at Charlestown. They have 8 races. Their first post time is 4 p.m. with a carryover in the Pick 6 jackpot of 13,432. And that's your menu for today, large as it is, but we covered it all. Now we're going to go to Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. We got to get started really with taking a look at the 3. We can cut the music for the yes, thank you. The menu is over. As long as it was, the menu is over. All right, time to get started. We got 3 Kentucky Derby Future Book races to go. Where do you want to start?
You tell me. You're the boss.
Well, let's go to Aqueduct first, and that'll be the Gotham. And so, in the Gotham Stakes, as you heard, there were 2 late scratches there. You got the scratch of Slider. We talked about that yesterday. The one, Canati, is also a late scratch there, but it still leaves a wide open field of 11 going to the post in that one.
Yeah, well, the number 10 horse, Just a Touch, is supposedly one of the better horses that Cox has, one of the better 3-year-olds that he has this year. The reason that he gets a slight edge is because his one and only start was over a sloppy track, and they're going to have water certainly in the track by the 10th race, so it gives him a little bit of an edge. But I was interested really in looking at the number 3 horse in here, Deterministic. This is a 3-year-old colt who had 1 start at Saratoga. Winning first out at 7 furlongs, not an easy thing to do. And he ran a huge figure that day. He's been on the sidelines ever since, but he returns in this spot. So obviously they have high hopes for him. I make it a 2-horse race, number 3, Deterministic, and number 10, Just a Touch.
All right. So in the Gotham, 1 mile, 1 turn, 1 mile, probably on something called a sloppy racetrack by then. You like the 10, Just a Touch with Garreau aboard. And the 3, Deterministic with Rosario, who is riding today at Aqueduct. That is the Gotham Stakes, the 10th race on the card. All right, now we get to the big one, the Fountain of Youth at Gulfstream Park. Now, we have a scratch of number 3, Victory Avenue, and we have a scratch of number 8, Locked. That was the big scratch of the day. Of course, Merritt is also scratched in that race. He went in that very special allowance race yesterday that Conquest Warrior won easily for Shug McGahee and Jose Ortiz that paid $320. It looked like money in the bank cattle on the ranch. That was an easy win for him in that allowance race yesterday. Merritt did finish second in that race, so obviously he scratched in the Fountain of Youth, but the big scratch was Locked.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was looking forward to this horse running. He was entered to run in a stake, a few weeks ago in Florida, and they used the old spike the fever excuse, which trainers seem to use when they want to get out of a race. I mean, it's sad to see him not running. It really is. It would have been a terrific race. And with him out, it certainly changes things. It's now down to a 7-horse field, I believe. The big favorite is going to be Dornoch, but I like the number 1 horse in here, Speakeasy. This horse had one start, and he ran huge that day. Not easy to go from a maiden winning race into a stake race at 2 turns, but this horse just may be that good. Again, he's listed at 9-2. He'll be a lot shorter with the late scratches, but Dornoch's going to be every bit of 3-5. And he rode the track bias last time out when winning the Remsen at Aqueduct. My top selection in here will be number 1, Speakeasy.
All right, now, we talk about Merritt, who scratched out of this race to go in that allowance race yesterday, did finish second, an admirable second, I thought. And then the switch here is that Speakeasy was also cross-entered, but he scratched out of that race to go in this one, the Fountain of Youth, today. And so you're leaving.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Pletcher must have known yesterday that he was going to be scratching Locked. It just, why would he enter both of them? It just, something's up with Locked, and I guess eventually we'll find out what the problem is.
All right. And like I said, these scratches got to be something other than horses not liking an off track, because it is beautiful there.
Yeah.
At Gulfstream.
It's more to it than an off track, Ralph. And the track isn't even off, like you said. So there's something up there, and eventually it'll leak out what the problem is.
All right. So we got Speakeasy, who will probably be the second favorite in this race.
5-2. You're going to get 5-2 on Speakeasy, and the other horse will probably be 6-5 even money on Dornoch.
All right. Now, I know that the race at Turfway only has 20 Kentucky Derby leaderboard points to it, and it's run over a synthetic racetrack, but is owned and operated by Churchill Downs Incorporated. And so this race for 3-year-olds, that is a prep for the big prep at Turfway, the Jack Ruby Stakes, will be held later on. But they do have 20 points up for grabs in the John Battaglia. Did you take any look at that race at all?
Honestly, I didn't, Ralph. It's synthetic, and I avoid synthetic at all costs, especially when I have other tracks to be playing.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of other great racing around the country, certainly at Gulfstream and in New York at Aqueduct today. Just for an FYI, though, the John Battaglia Epic Ride is the 5-2 morning line favorite. And looking at that race, I thought he was a legit favorite in that one, and we will wait and see about that. All right, Jonathan. Well, we got you all done and ready to go. I know that we still have to get your picks for today, so why don't we do that right now?
Okay, let's look at the 4th race today at Gulfstream. And like you said, it's an early post there, so the 4th race comes kind of early. And I love the number 1 horse in here, Armstrong. This is a 4-year-old colt from the Jose D'Angelo barn. He's getting better with each and every start. Last time out, he was hung out in the 11 post. Now draws the rail on the Tapeta, where he's run very well in the past. Miguel Vasquez aboard to ride, 9-2 on the morning line. I like number 1, Armstrong, to win today's 4th race out at Gulfstream Park.
All right, that 4th race is an overnight stakes race, the San Cristobal, and in that race, you like number 1, Armstrong. Miguel Vasquez aboard there, number 1, Armstrong at 9-2 on the morning line. I got to tell you, all these races today at Gulfstream, for most of them, they're full fields and very competitive races. I think that's for sure. It's going to be a fun day, and with all the pick 4s and pick 5s they're adding to the mix, and a almost $669,000 carryover of cash already in the pick 6 pool. That thing's going to get over $1 million for sure today, possibly $2 million. And if it ain't hit today, and it looks like a tough card to be hitting one, it's going to carry over for a mandatory tomorrow. So we got that mandatory hanging out there for tomorrow at Gulfstream. We got, of course, the big cap day of racing at Santa Anita, hopefully tomorrow. And, of course, a great racing card today at Gulfstream and at Aqueduct as well. And, Jonathan, you've been doing a yeoman's job as far as your sheets are concerned. You got 4 major sheets going on today: Gulfstream, Aqueduct, and, I believe only 3, right? Oaklawn as well, right? Yeah, those 3.
Correct. We have a selection at Aqueduct also, Ralph. We're going to look at the 9th race today at Aqueduct. This is the Tom Fool. And I love the number 6 horse in here, 24 Mamba, 8-1 on the morning line. The horse is coming off of a freshening, but if you look at the race, you have at least 5 horses that want the lead. There's going to be a meltdown here. They're going to be smoking up front. 24 Mamba, the best closer in the race. Dylan Davis aboard for Charlton Baker. 8-1 on the morning line. I like number 6, 24 Mamba, to upset and win this year's Tom Fool Stakes.
Well, I hope 24 produces 8-1 and a winner, that's for sure. In the Tom Fool, the 9th race, you like the 6, 24 Mamba, name of the horse. Saddlecloth bet number 6 in the 9th race. Dylan Davis aboard to close and get the money in the Tom Fool. And again, 3 sheets, Aqueduct, Gulfstream, and Oaklawn at your website. And just give them, tell them where you can get it.
JONHARDOON.com.
All right. We're going to let you go, and we will talk to you tomorrow and see how these races go today.
Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
We'll be right back as we continue to roll along on this race day show with a lot of Derby points up for grabs across the country. We'll be right back with Rich Ing. Don't go away.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos with another big weekend of stakes trials racing action. The best fillies in the nation will race in the trials to the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Oaks on Saturday night. Kindergarten winner, Double Down 1, 2, 3 stakes winner Asher, and graded stakes finalists Check-In Cartel and Southern Divine will be in action. On Sunday night, top sophomores will be in the trials to the Grade 2 El Primero del Año Derby. Trial hopefuls include Grade 1 Edberg Million winner Political Rivalry and Wild West winner 5 Bar Supreme. The horses with the 10 fastest times for each race will advance to the finals on March 24th and 25th. And as always, Los Alamitos will feature night racing's best bets, like our early and late pick 4s, and the $10,000 pick 6 promo on Sundays if there's not a carryover. Enjoy the best of daytime simulcast racing at Los Alamitos. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681. The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yeah. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Oreo.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock. I
Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
Alrighty, back on a busy Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We now go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Man, I heard you go over the menu of the races at Gulfstream. What a card that is.
Man, I'm telling you. It's okay that we don't have Santa Anita today because that will be a nice card that we will feature tomorrow. And obviously, horse players with the way these racetracks don't space the races out so you can watch each one individually, sometimes they run over each other. We have an opportunity to really enjoy the Gulfstream Park card today along with Aqueduct, and we can get done early enough to have a nice early dinner as well. So that helps out, that's for sure. Now, because Santa Anita is not running today, you don't have a Santa Anita sheet. But what you did was you put together a simulcast sheet anyhow, and you picked certain races. You have selections at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks across the country today. Fairgrounds, Turfway, you got Tampa Bay, you got Oak Lawn Park, and, of course, Aqueduct and Gulfstream. So you've been doing a lot of work searching out some individual horses for people, and that sheet is available right now at the racedaylasvegas.com website. Richie, you have a thought about any one of the three big, the two big 50-pointers today?
Yeah, I did take a look at two of the stakes. In the Gotham, I like the number 8 horse, Bergen, from Brad Cox. This horse won the Jimmy Wingfield last time out. That was a sprint, now going a little bit longer in the Gotham at a one-turn mile. But I think this horse has, sneaky upside at a square price for Cox. So Bergen in the Gotham. In the Fountain of Youth, I agree with Jonathan. I really like the 1, Speak Easy. Only has the 1 start. It was just fantastic. But, about the mile and a 16th logistics to start at Gulfstream Park. Very short run to the first turn. Really favors the inside post. Plus, the horse has speed. I think this horse is going to go on the Bill Daly and say, see you later.
All right. So in the Fountain of Youth, you like Speak Easy from Flagfall to That's All. And in the Gotham Stakes, you kind of agree with in the Gotham, you like Bergen. Bergen is the horse you like, right?
That's correct. I like Bergen from Brad Cox in the Gotham, and I agree with Jonathan. I like Speak Easy making the second career start in the Fountain of Youth.
All right, good. And don't forget, folks, that with that sheet that he has several horses across the country on 6 different racetracks, but he gave you Bergen in the Gotham. He has 3 other selections at Aqueduct today on his sheet. So remember that's for sure. And at Gulfstream Park, I believe you have 2 more. One more.
Yeah, in fact, I have 2, definitely 2 picks at Gulfstream early in the card. And with the early post, make sure you get to the window early and don't get shut out. In fact, my radio play, Ralph, we'll just cut to the chase.
Sure.
My radio play goes off at 8:44 Pacific time. So that's not that far away. But in race 2, I like the number 2 horse, BU. 6-1 in the morning line. This is part of an uncoupled entry from Todd Pletcher. I think this horse will be all of the 6-1 because the rail horse is the morning line favorite, number 1, Big City. And the other Pletcher horse is lower odds at 4-1. That's the number 6, Acclaimed Victor. But if you take a look at the racing form on the PPs on number 2, BU, this horse, Ralph, is run against Just Steel, Muth, Nash, and also Conquest Warrior, who you mentioned earlier in the show, winning so impressive yesterday. This horse has kept really good company on the cutback. I like the number 2, BU, in the second at Gulfstream.
7 furlongs BU, the 7 furlongs the distance. It is the second race on the card. And again, remember, early post time, so you got less than an hour, just about a little over a half an hour from the time we end our show to get that bet down. So in the second race, number 2, BU. And as I said, there's 2 selections at Gulfstream in addition to the one you gave us with Speak Easy. So you're covering the country as well, and that sheet is available right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. Hey, thanks a lot, Richie. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, let's go to our final break on the show, because when we come back, we got John Lindo standing by in Southern California. I see John in his office, but I don't see any umbrellas around. So we'll wait and see there. And find out if they were too premature with the weather conditions today in Southern California. In any case, they will be running tomorrow, and we'll get the latest from John Lindo and, of course, Jerry Jackowitz with his plays right after this. Don't go away.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos with another big weekend of stakes trials racing action. The best fillies in the nation will race in the trials to the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Oaks on Saturday night. Kindergarten winner, Double Down 1, 2, 3 stakes winner Asher, and graded stakes finalists Check-In Cartel and Southern Divine will be in action. On Sunday night, top sophomores will be in the trials to the Grade 2 El Primero del Año Derby. Trial hopefuls include Grade 1 Edberg Million winner Political Rivalry and Wild West winner 5 Bar Supreme. The horses with the 10 fastest times for each race will advance to the finals on March 24th and 25th. And as always, Los Alamitos will feature night racing's best bets, like our early and late pick fours, and the $10,000 pick six promo on Sundays if there's not a carryover. Enjoy the best of daytime simulcast racing at Los Alamitos. For Vessels Club reservations, call 714-820-2681. The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, don't forget, plenty of great shows on the South Point Network here at YouTube. We start out, of course, by reminding everybody that Punchlines with Frank Nicoteros on 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. Then we got a new show on here called Gone Racing, all about auto racing, and you're taking it right from a guy who sat in the seat of these cars. Gone Racing with Brandon Gahn. That's on Thursdays at 10 a.m. And then, of course, every day of the week, we've got Sports by the Book 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. They kick me out of the studio and get started at 8:30 this morning, 8:30 to 10 a.m. on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You need all these shows, folks. I'm telling you, they're entertaining, good informational shows, especially with March Madness right around the corner. I mean, we can see it setting up right now. All right, let's go to John Lindo standing by in Southern California. John, first of all, weather.
Well, I'm here in Carlsbad. A little light drizzle this morning, just enough to get the ground wet, but nothing soaking at all. And I'm supposed to be at the bottom end of whatever storm is up in L.A. I haven't touched base with the guys up there because it's irrelevant. We're not racing today no matter what. I know the main track was closed today, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think it's going to be anything major, and it's supposed to be out of Southern California by noon today.
John, I know that we've been talking about the $8 million they spent on turning the interior training track from organic dirt to the tappeta synthetic footing. And I understand that they had delays, but I understand now it's all set and ready to go. As a matter of fact, they were going to open it up this morning for a limited amount of training over that.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're supposed to open up today just for horses that are entered Sunday and Monday and jogging only, no workouts. They want the horses to get a feel for it. So very limited use this weekend as it's kind of a slow open kind of thing, but at least the track is in there. They've got a couple things to finish up, but they've got the surface on there, and we'll see how it plays out. And it's going to be a good thing for guys who have a lot of grass horses that want to train on that kind of surface to be able to run on the grass.
Well, I can tell you that allowance race yesterday at Gulfstream Park, that winner won so easily. It was like a rocking chair ride for the jockey. So we will wait and see what comes out of that race, that's for sure. Merritt, who decided to go in that one, finished second, and a admirable second, I thought, got scratched out of the Fountain of Youth. Now, I know you did an extensive Lindo report for all the races today at Gulfstream Park, and that is available right here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge. The entire Lindo report goes over every race, has a suggested late pick four on that, and certainly with all the added pick fours and pick fives across the board today at Gulfstream Park, it's going to be one hell of a day. playing the races and finding the right pool to get in. You can be helped out with the Lindo report. Again, right now, comprehensive full Lindo report available here. Only one place in Las Vegas. Only one place you can get it, and it's complimentary. It's free of charge right here at the South Point Racebook for the race players. They love race players here, and certainly the Lindo report. John, before we take a look at the Fountain of Youth, did you take a gander at all at the Gotham today?
Yeah, I just took a quick look, and it's so hard to try because that track gets real deep sometimes. But I think number 13, Capital Idea, for Christophe Clement, I really like the way he moved forward last time. If it does rain there, he can handle a wet track. And the best part is I think you want to be on the outer part of that portion of that track. It has been that way this week. So if he can fall into a stocking trip, he's 12-1 on the morning line. There's enough value there to make me take a second look to see what the prices come post time.
Yeah, 12-1 on the morning line on that race. And, of course, as you noted yesterday, Slider has been scratching that race. We also now scratched the one, Canati. The one is also out of that race. So out of the 13 that were originally entered, now we have 11. So the 13 comes in a little, but at a 1 mile, 1 turn race, being on the outside is not a problem because you got that long run to the only turn.
Plenty of time to pick your spot and find a trip out from the outside. You got a lot of options out there.
Yeah, no question about that. That's for sure. That's the Gotham. Of course, the Lindo report did cover the Fountain of Youth today. 3 scratches, 1 big one. Victory Avenue, of course, was scratched earlier today. Merritt, of course, went in the allowance race and finished second yesterday. And we have Locked, who was a late scratch this morning. Any thoughts about the scratches?
Well, it changes the race quite a bit, Ralph. Without Locke sitting in the back there waiting to make a late run, and you take some of the speed out with Victory Avenue, it looks like, Door Knock and Speakeasy both have speed. At this point, if I'm the jock on Speakeasy, I send my horse, I put my horse on the lead. I'm not worried that somebody's going to come from left field and nail me in the shadow of the wire. I think whoever makes the first turn in front will probably be the horse to beat. And after scratches, I think maybe Speakeasy is the right horse.
Yeah, no question about that. That's for sure. And we will wait and see if there's an upsetter looming out there. But it does look like the race goes through Speakeasy and Dornock in that race. That's for sure. So we have you down on Speakeasy in that race. Although Dornock is a horse that has to be reckoned with. That's for sure.
Oh, he's obviously a lot of talent. He was good enough to beat Sierra Leone, even with a bias in his favor, but he beat him fair and square. And, you just know coming off the layoff route that this is not the end goal. It's a starting point. I think if he runs well and he gets beat, that's fine. But he's competitive. He's tactical, but he's still a little bit green. He needs racing to get to his very best.
John, with the cancellation today of the big cap, would have been part of the national picture between Gulfstream and Aqueduct and Santa Anita. Santa Anita's kind of stand alone tomorrow as the major track with all the focus on it. But horsemen are kind of sitting around doing nothing this morning, waiting for tomorrow, huh?
It's eerie, Ralph. Big cap morning, and you go out and the track closed, and there's nobody out there, and it's kind of sad for an old guy like me that has enjoyed it. It's a special day. It has been in Southern California for decades. And it's kind of eerily quiet at Santa Anita this morning.
Well, I had to wear my race day cap today. I got to wait for my big cap tomorrow now. In any case, we'll take a pick from you.
Let's go to the 13th race. That's the Honey Fox at Gulfstream Park. In that 13th race, number 3, Be My Sunshine, did not get a great ride last time at Tampa Bay. A little bit of a weak ride. Gets a rider switch to Junior Alvarado. There's a lot of pace in here, and I think she falls into the right trip, sitting right behind the speed on the inside. You got Alvarado to pick a spot. 9-2 on the morning line, number 3. That's Be My Sunshine, race 13, Gulfstream Park.
All right, you got a 13th race, the 3-horse John Lindo's pick at Gulfstream Park today off the Lindo Report. 14 races. Get that Lindo Report. It's going to be real good for you today, that's for sure. John, we'll talk to you tomorrow on Big Cap Day.
Let's hope so, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right, you got it, my man. Now we're going to wrap it up with Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
Well, Jerry, you're the one that held up the flag for the handicappers yesterday. You had a reverse play that came in the 7th race. One of your link-ups won, paid a nice $18 mutual, and with the key horse running second, the reverse exacta for $1 paid $22.40, so congratulations on that one. I know you do a power page for both Santa Anita and Aqueduct, but right now it's just for Aqueduct today. But did you take a look at all at the Fountain of Youth?
Yeah, I did, Ralph. As you know, any handicapper would do on a day like today. I waxed a little nostalgic because it was probably the race that I fell in love with horse racing back in 1977. When a horse named Seattle Slew flew out of the gate at Hialeah in the Fountain of Youth and just was electrifying on the front end. It was the most incredible race to my mind at that time.
Now,
and, that's where
I'm going.
That was a flat mile, by the way, Hialeah.
Yeah, I'm going into my 7th decade here on Earth, and all I can say is this. Out of all the time that I've spent for a love of and in the racing industry, the 70s had to be the greatest decade for racing in my lifetime.
Well, sure. You had Secretariat, who ran easily the greatest race ever run, as far as I'm concerned, when he won the Kentucky Derby, running every quarter of a mile faster than the previous quarter of a mile right to the very end.
Sure.
That's never been done before or since, as far as I know. And then you had the unbelievable Affirmed and Alidar competition of the time, which, I mean, we had a little bit of that with, with Sunday Silence
and Easy
Goer. We've had it a little bit along the way, but not quite the way Affirmed and Alidar did it, which culminated in what I consider, for me, the greatest Belmont. Not that either one of them ran as fast as Secretariat, but just the duel and the competition of those two horses was just incredible.
Yeah, and Seattle Slew in 1977, and an almost with the Spectacular Bid in 79.
Right, a Spectacular Bid, right. And he was a weak fourth compared to these guys. And as I say, Seattle Slew was the fastest horse I've ever seen. I mean, he's just faster than anything that's ever run before.
All right, now let's get to present time. We've got a thought about the Fountain of Youth and your picks at Aqueduct.
Well, I think it runs through Doorknock. I thought Speakeasy and Victory Speech are both potentially really, really excellent horses. And, I kind of thought Victory Speech would be Victory Avenue, I'm sorry, would be the price horse of the two, but for some reason they made Speakeasy 9-2 and Victory Avenue 4-1.
Jerry, I know you get up and just walk into the studio there, but the Victory Avenue has been scratched along with Merit and Locked. So those three horses are out of it.
I heard Locked.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, Victory Avenue.
But I wouldn't bet on or against either Speakeasy or Doorknock.
All right, you got it, my man. Now we got to get a quick thought on the Gotham and your picks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm gonna let my opinion on the Gotham just pass by here for a second.
All right.
And then I'm gonna give you my pick, and I'll give you the Gotham. Okay.
Yeah,
This
go.
is the way I have this set up.
Yeah.
Okay. I like number 8, Petulant, in the 8th race for today's play. I just think he rates out coming off the layoff better than anybody else. And so for that reason, I'm going to make him the play. I'm going to play the 8 over the 1, 2, 6, and 7. Do reverses 1, 2, 6, and 7 over the 8. I'll press up 8, 1, 1, 8 because they're both Dutch row horses. But that's where my play is going to be.
All right.
As far as the Gotham.
Well, hold on. Let me repeat that for the folks out there. The Stymie Stakes, the 8th race on the card, the 8 over 1, 2, 6, 7, and reverse, and then another 1, 8, 8, 1. Right?
Yeah, correct. I like Bergen. I think a little bit of all the horses. How many horses does Cox has? A couple of horses in here, and Fletcher. Of all of the multiples, I like Bergen for Brad Cox the best. One race just flashed tremendous speed through the stretch, and now he stretches out and takes on some real horses. I want to give him a shot. Gets Manny Franco. 9-2 seems reasonable for the 8 horse in the 10th race. But other than that, the race is so complicated. It's hard for me to pull a play out of it, and it's so competitive. I don't have really a good play out of there. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
But I do like Bergen. He's my top-rated horse. He is a star horse.
All right. So the 8 Bergen in the 10th race, the Gotham, is your key horse. And for the folks listening out there, look at the rest of the odds board. And if you like anything else that you think might be competitive in the race, put them in an exacta with Bergen, right?
Yeah, I even have 2 V horses in the race. I mean,
Yes.
the spread I would definitely do an all at some
Okay,
point.
you got it. All right. Well, we have taken care of the business there at Aqueduct, and of course, you'll get Jerry J's Power Page for Santa Anita tomorrow. But you got Jerry J's Power Page for Aqueduct today. It's going to be a great racing across the country. It's going to be done early because Santa Anita's canceled, but we'll get to that tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and enjoy yourself. Come on down to the South Point and join us in the race book. Go ahead and say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.